Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Now let's just get into it. So I asked y'all to drop me questions, and I'm gonna keep posting. So y'all just keep dropping the questions in there. I'm gonna make videos to answer them in the off season while we waiting on something to happen. So first question from Brad G. Appreciate the comment, bro. He says, do you think JJ would really be okay going all season playing second fiddle to Cade again? Honestly, I don't think that's what he wants to do. And I said this before, I don't think that's what we need. I think JJ needs to start, but as far as your question goes, I think he would do what needs to be done if they ask him to be Cade's backup and come in sometimes and, run the read and, come in with his packages. I'm sure he would do it. But honestly, I think JJ thinks he's going to be the starter. I think he's putting in the work and he thinks he's going to be the best option at quarterback. And I think he is probably the best option, especially this year with the defense losing so many players. We won't know how good they will or can be. So I think JJ should be the starter, but I think if he had to, I think he would. But I think he believes he's going to be the starter. Like, he's putting in the work. So when spring ball finishes and by the time fall camp comes, that it's like, okay, we gotta give him this job. But to answer your question, if he had to, yes, I think he would. I don't think he'd be happy about it, but I'm sure he would. All right. Next question, Ross Hickson. Appreciate the question, bro. Who do you think is going to be that dude this year and step into the motivation role? This right here is a good question. I'm not sure who it will be. Honestly, I was thinking, and I'm not sure who it would be. Maybe Mozzie Smith being the elder statesman on defense. I'm not sure if he's that type of dude, but maybe him. It's got to be somebody that's been there. But you never know who can become a motivational leader. It could be, if JJ wins the job, it's probably going to be JJ. Honestly, if he wins the job. But if he doesn't, it might be a dude like Ronnie Bell, of course. Ronnie's a pretty good leader. He puts it all on the field and wears it on his sleeve. So it could be Ronnie, especially coming back. Let's hope he's 100% by the time the season comes. Or maybe Blake Corum. I wouldn't be surprised if Blake Corum takes a big step up in leadership now that he's been on the campus for going on 3 years. So those are kind of the guys I got for that. And of course, Cade. Cade is a leader, but a dude like Aiden was such a big leader because you need it. It's always easier to follow somebody that you see doing all the work. So practice, you see Aiden putting in the work. Weight room, you see him putting in the work. When the lights are brightest, when the lights are on, Aiden was putting in that work. So you can follow that dude, and he was an elder statesman. So he was a what? Redshirt junior or senior with the free year from COVID, but he had been around and he knew what it meant, what everything meant. OSU, beating OSU and everything. So a dude like that that's the kind of guy you want to be the leader, or even. And this is a good question, honestly, because last year, even though we're losing dudes and we might be able to fill them, the leadership on that team was great, from Aiden to Hassan to Josh Ross, because just Josh Ross and Aiden, they were legacy players. So they knew what it means to be at Michigan just from their family. So it's big. It's big. Like, so you got Aiden, who has the accolades, shows in practice, everything else. Then you got a dude like Josh Ross as a captain also. He's showing it. He's showing up. I made that video about go out there and get 100 tackles. He had 100 tackles. So, that's just big. It ain't about just I'm the starter. Okay, you the starter now. I need to see the numbers. That's the numbers. Middle linebacker, 100 tackles. You doing your thing. So that's huge. In Hassan, I'm a captain, elder statesman. I'm rushing for 1,400 yards, almost 20 TDs. I'm putting up numbers. So that's a lot of leadership. So that's a lot of leadership as actual captains. So long story short, that was a long answer, but long story short, I'm looking for a dude like Corum to be the leader. Now, like I was saying with Cade, Cade's got leadership, but it's more on intangibles with him because he doesn't come out and put up real numbers out when he's out there. He hasn't even we never won a game last year with him putting the team on his back. But he's got leadership. He's more the intangible leader. He's going to do the little things that make guys want to follow him. But honestly, I don't know. That's a good question. I almost don't know. I would say Corum. If JJ's the starter, I think he'll be kind of both. And I'm going to get back on JJ a little later. But yeah, I see Corum, maybe JJ, maybe Mozzie. But that's a good question. Or Ronnie Bell. Maybe one of those guys, but I can't really say for sure. But that's something that we need, that leadership and that motivational leader to keep everybody focused on the goals that are at hand at all times. So that's a great question, bro. I honestly, we probably won't even know for sure until the season. Stephen Brown, what up, bro? Stephen Brown said, do you think that the offense will be too much for every team in the big? And where is the place you believe the defense will surprise people? Let's see. The offense being too much, the offense should be overwhelming most teams. If you don't have a good defense, it should overwhelm teams. Now, we got Josh Gaddis is gone, but we're going to do hardball ball. And even when Blake Corum got hurt and you got the more bell cow of running back with Hassan, this year you have Corum, you got Edwards, and you got the other young dude. He's a big back. I can't. His name slips my mind. But so you got them three. Blake and Edwards can go the distance at any time, and Edwards is good in the pass game. So that's a lot. Like Hassan wasn't going to take it 60 or 70 or 80. He's not going to do that. He's going to constantly hit you and get 5, 10, 5, 7, 8, 20. He's going to hit you like that, slow and steady. But these dudes that we have now, they will take it to the house. You make a mistake, they going to take it to the house. Ain't no questions about it. Like you make a mistake, they're gone. And with the wide receivers, we're loaded at wide receiver with Cornelius, Roman Wilson, Ronnie Bell should be back, Antrell Anthony, the tight end, and Shoemaker, and the other tight end, his name slips my mind, but the offense is loaded. So it's going to overwhelm most teams. And that's with Cade or JJ. Now, I always talk about this, put in the work. Hopefully they got better. So if Cade has gotten better at reading the field, let's say he's the starter, then it's trouble. Then even let's say if Cade is the starter and hopefully he's gotten better reading the field, that's going to be even a bigger threat. Now JJ's probably going to have a bigger package, so you got to worry about him coming in. So that's that. Now, let's say JJ is the starter. Now you got to worry about the read option, and you got to worry about a dude with a lively arm that's not afraid to throw it 50, 60 yards downfield. So whoever wins the job, regardless, the offense is going to overpower most teams because it's just too many weapons. They got too much talent, too many weapons. So as long as they not just calling runs up the middle when it ain't working, and they not afraid to use stretch plays and outside zones and outside reads and things like that, the offense is going to be scary. It should be scary. So most Big Ten teams, they should overpower on offense. Now you said, where is the place defense will surprise people? If I just had to say, I'd probably say secondary. With us losing Brad, Dax, Vincent Gray, people just see you losing people. So that's three starters out of the secondary. But I think the secondary is going to be tough this year. I think it's going to be tough with RJ Moden back there, and with DJ, of course. DJ Turner should be a real number one like he was last year. Hopefully he's gotten even better. Rod Moore back there was starting to do his thing. RJ Moden had some picks and made some big-time plays. So these dudes in the system, then the young dude, Will Johnson, I'm thinking the secondary should be scary almost. With these young dudes, second year in the system, hopefully they've gotten better. Bigger, stronger, faster, and knowing what is expected in the defense, knowing the ins and outs of the defense. So I'm thinking the secondary is going to surprise some people. So, and honestly, losing all that pass rush with Aiden and Ojabo, we're going to need the secondary to be better, so we don't have to blitz all the time. But that's what I think. I think the secondary is going to be tough this year, because we just got a lot of talented guys that are coming in, and we got a lot of talented guys that played big time minutes last year. So they not just freshmen, except Will Johnson coming in. So that's where I'm expecting a big step up, or a big surprise, because people gonna see all they lost Dax, Vincent, and Brad Hawkins. They gonna take a step back. I don't think so. I think they're gonna be more. I think we're gonna get more interceptions this year, honestly. And Brad G, thanks for the second comment. He says thoughts on Mike Sainristil switching to DB. Sainristil switching to DB. The one thing I can say about him switching to DB, he has to love Michigan. He has to love playing for Michigan. What's he, like a senior? He could have went to a bunch of schools, you know what I'm saying? He probably could have went to a bunch of schools and played wide receiver, but for him to actually say, I'm going to switch this late in his career, he has to love Michigan. Now, I'm not sure how quick, because changing positions is always hard, especially going from like wide receiver to DB, because you're used to running forward. Now you're backpedaling. You're starting off backpedaling. So, and playing DB, it's not easy. It's probably the hardest position to play. So, technique is huge. So, if he can get his technique down and somewhat get the system down, he might be able to get some playing time. I'm not going to say he's going to be in the rotation, because it's just so hard this late in his career to switch to corner. But as far as him as a player, he's got decent size. He's about 6 foot, 5'11", something like that. And he's got quick feet. He's a quick guy. So he probably could be a good corner the more time he gets in at it. I just hate it so late in his career. So honestly, I'm not expecting much out of it, because it's just so late in his career. But you never know. Sometimes dudes are just athletes, and they can pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And be pretty good, even though their technique isn't where the other guy's technique is. But you're just such a great athlete that it makes up for it. But, you know, when I saw it, I was just like, this dude has to love Michigan to switch this late in his career. But he's got decent size. He's got quick feet, pretty good change of direction. So he could be a good corner. So we gonna see. I'm really hyped to see the spring game and see where some of these dudes are, how far along they are, and he's definitely one of those dudes. Now I got one more question that was in here. Let me find it. And this is about JJ's quote. The quote he had on the video. I've been posting the Winged Helmets videos about when they talked to Donovan Andrell and JJ. And JJ said, this is the quote that's going around, and OSU has put it up in their locker room. JJ said, that's all we know is beating Ohio State right now. So we're going to keep that going. I don't have a problem with it. And bro said, it's in there already. Do you think that went too far now? That ain't going too far. See, we needed a culture change. And the way JJ acted even before he came on campus, I liked it because he already understood what it means to be at Michigan. So him saying that ain't nothing new. Well, it is new. But what he's saying should have been said. He's saying stuff that should have been said. So all they know is beat Ohio State. That's all they know. And that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. And this is what Ohio State fans and people would. Ohio State takes it more serious than us. What I hear is him taking it serious, knowing that we expect to beat Ohio State. That's all we think about is beating Ohio State. That's what I'm taking from it. That's all we know is beating them. And those young dudes, that's all they know. They don't know about losing Ohio State, and I love it. Because when you get too used to losing to somebody, like we were all those years, all those players, they had never beat Ohio State. So they would get up. We might get up 14-0 on Ohio State, and then all of a sudden we lose the game by 10 or a touchdown or 14 or whatever. Because they didn't know how to beat Ohio State. We get up, we happy. Ohio State over there like, okay. Oh, y'all came to play today. Okay. Okay, say less. But see, these dudes know how it feels to beat them. So you think that they ain't trying to lose to them? We finna keep this going. I like it. Ohio State can be mad and put it up there. Put whatever you want up there. They already mad we beat them. If you need more motivation than us for them 42-27, then hey, something wrong. But I like it. That's the rivalry. We expect to beat y'all. Y'all hate us. We hate you. What's up? You already know what's up. So you can put all the bulletin board. Y'all said y'all was gonna lay 100 on us. Didn't happen. So all that bulletin board, you can take it or whatever. The rivalry is back to we hate you, you hate us. Let's go figure out who's better. End the story. So they can take that bulletin board. That Ohio State team we saw was soft. They've been had bulletin board material up about us all the time. But that Ohio State team was soft. That was a soft Ohio State team. So that's what that's what they need to be worried about is how soft they were. How when Michigan was in the tunnel screaming at them, they looked terrified. They looked terrified. I saw that video and I was like, I've never seen an Ohio State team look scared in the tunnel when Michigan is talking trash behind them. I've never seen that. So it is what it is now. Michigan is taking the rivalry serious. Those young dudes have bought in to how serious it is. And we're going to see what it is. I love it. I love it. As long as you putting in the work to beat them dudes, hey, you answered the question right. That's all we worried about. That's all we know is beating Ohio State. So we're going to continue to do that. That's all we know. I like it. You got to have the confidence, and they already respect them because they've done so much against us. So they already got the respect for them. Now it's putting in the work to play with them every time, to beat them every time. So I like it. I like what he said. Like it, them young dudes gotta, they a little bit different. These young dudes we got on the team now, they a little bit different. They not the old Michigan, kind of talk is cheap kind of guys. These dudes are different, and they a different caliber of athlete too. Dudes like Corum and JJ Slicker Beast, some of these dudes. So Donovan Edwards, you know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, they believe in Michigan, and they trying to get Michigan back to where it should be or where it can be. So them talking that, they know they got to go through Ohio State to reach all their goals. So you got to focus on them. You can't dominate the Big Ten without beating and going through Ohio State, especially not at Michigan, because you got to play them every year. So now the thing is, now Ohio State has to deal with a lot of them dudes. They ain't heard Michigan be able to talk trash. So now it's, they done said something. Man, please. This is the rivalry. So you put up whatever you want. Michigan putting in the work to do it again. And that's what it's about. So you can put up the bulletin board material. It at this point, it don't matter. If that loss wasn't enough to motivate you, something wrong. Something wrong if that loss wasn't enough. So I ain't worried about it. I like that because he knows, JJ and them young dudes know what the rivalry means. They know what it means. And they're embracing it. And that's what you have to do, is embrace it. They got to see all those fans rush the field and see how unbelievable a setting that was and how much it means from a dude like Aiden and Josh Ross and those dudes that had lost to Michigan all those years. They trying to change the culture, and I like it. I like it. I love it, really. Let them know we coming to play. Like this, we're not trying to make it a one-year wonder. We're trying to beat y'all every time. Y'all get them little gold pants where, well, you trying to get them while I'm here, you ain't getting none. You ain't getting no gold pants. So that's just what I feel about it. Like I don't think it's going too far. What? Saying we want to beat them? We want to beat y'all. Y'all thought it was a game? We trying to beat y'all every year. Now, for real. We got one. We trying to keep it going. All we know is beat y'all. You got a problem with it? Show up and beat us. Same thing y'all was telling us. When they saying they was going to hang 100 on us, it don't get... One last thing. It don't get more disrespectful than a coach saying he going to hang 100 on you. That's the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard a coach say. So I don't think anybody can say anything more disrespectful than that. That's disrespect. We going to hang 100 on y'all in football? You don't get no worse than that. So this ain't nothing compared to Ryan Day saying he going to hang 100 on us. So it is what it is. As long as they putting in the work in, and I got faith, and I know that these dudes are putting in the work, I ain't got a problem with it, because that's what it is. It's a rivalry. So let them know. We want y'all. We want y'all crown of running the Big Ten. We want that back. We want that back. So I had to rant on that one, y'all. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. I appreciate the questions. Drop more questions, and I'm gonna keep coming on here, answering them, ranting, whatever. So like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.